it was a process for me. I'm the youngest out of like 10, so and I was grew up in the '60s and '70s during the civil rights period, and my family moved us up north through the migration of migrant workers from South Florida, and being the youngest, you know, I had to I had to fight for the TV. So I always read, and I always had these heroes that I read about. But then I was like, what about the heroes that look like me? So I started reading like about Christmas Attucks, you know, Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver, you know, Booker T. And then I got more interested in the people that were doing things at that time. So I started learning how to African dance. There was a big movement back then. And I think they put a halt on that and said, well, this is getting too big. You know what I'm saying? There was a time in the '60s and '70s where it was have a Coke and a smile. It was, you know, you see the Indian with the tear, keep America beautiful. I think people were coming together. But I think the powers that be seen that was too much. You know, they still had the Vietnam War going on and the propaganda for people to be separated so they can, you know, they can do what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you had during that time Nixon, then you know Carter came in and tried to do stuff. I think people were like, you know, that's too much. You know what I'm saying? So this is the times I was raised. I mean, I remember Reagan. I was 16 years old. I remember Reagan got in. I thought it was we were doomed. You know, at a young age. So I joined the Air Force. You know, because that was the only opportunity that I had coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? I thought, you know, maybe I could serve my country and get some respect. But when I came out, I didn't get none. So it was always a hustle. But, you know, after, you know, doing the hustle, not being able to get jobs, let's talk about the '80s and '90s, you know, DJing, you know, putting money before, you know, community. Instead of thinking about the community, I was thinking about, you know, the stars and the shine. Ended up in prison because I was, you know, dealing drugs, on drugs, you know what I'm saying? Came out of prison after being in after 20 years. So this is my 20 years anniversary. I came out in 2002, but I was in 2001. It was my first time ever being in prison, and I was in New York City in Staten Island when the World Trade Center went down. But just seeing all those things, you know, evolved, you know, got me into like how I get my voice out. You know, I still have the skill, but after I got out of prison, I went through homelessness and just, you know, trying to get my voice out. You know what I'm saying? So come 2009, I joined the community television in Northampton, Massachusetts. And that's where I learned how to film and edit after being homeless for like 7 years. And me doing this is our second film where will appear on Independent Lens on PBS next year. You know, right now we're in film festivals trying to promote it and get you know, get the word out, try to get distribution and all that. But that's the reason why I came to this art of filming, because I wasn't being heard. And I would say, okay, I can show you better than I can tell you.